Well, hello again. Welcome to another edition of CropLife Retail Week. Paul Schrimpf here with Eric Sfilligoj. How are you, sir?
Good. I see you're back in your home office this week.
Yeah. It's I think after hearing some of the scuttlebutt in the company, we probably got another month or so of this, maybe some rotating in, hopefully in the next couple of weeks. But yep, we're still home. So. And it's a nice day to not go out because it's all the weather that's kind of hit the Midwest recently that slowed the planting has kind of visited us. So we're looking at what 40s, 50s, maybe mid 50s through the next 10 days.
Cold, wet. Yeah, it's just not fun. I know I got to walk the dog later, and I'm hoping that the drizzle will sort of stop so that I don't have to walk in the rain. I always hate that. So,
gotcha. I hear you. So one exciting bit of personal news is it is the parrot makes a cameo every once in a while, and so wanted to bring the parrot out for her birthday. It's her birthday on Friday, or her hatch day, as they call it in bird talk land. But yep, she's doing well and happy, and got her spring feathers in already. Hey, are you talking? Are you actually talking?
Wow.
That's great.
I was going to say, usually she just picks at your clothes when we are on video. I've never heard her chirp, so that's pretty impressive.
Maybe there's something she sees on the camera from you that's upsetting. I don't know. But anyway.
I know the dog was behind me a moment ago moving around, so it's possible maybe.
Yeah, she's got sharp eyes. So
I was going to say, yeah, I know Lucky, she loves most people, but I do know that if there's like blue jays or starlings in the backyard, she will chase them. She can't catch them, of course, but she will run after them.
Yes. Birds, endless source of entertainment. So what's going on, sir?
Well, actually, Paul, I know I teased a couple of videos ago that given the state of the world and our industry, that it would probably be a rare occurrence when we didn't have some type of merger consolidation news to share with our viewers. And lo and behold, just as our video was going to bed last week, we discovered that there's another consolidation merger going on in our marketplace. As you know, we've been following mergers and consolidations between the crop protection majors and a lot of ag retailers recently, but this one involved two of our friends in the fertilizer market. Koch Industries has acquired the assets of Compass Minerals. Now, Compass is pretty well known for their micronutrients lines, including the Wolf Trax lines. And I know that the president of Koch basically said about the deal that they are more than happy to add some micronutrients to their product offerings to give out to the marketplace. So congratulations to Koch on that. I know Compass goes back a couple of years in terms of market presence, and I think that'll be a good acquisition for them. And I'm sure the customers in the marketplace won't notice too much of a difference.
Yeah, it's interesting. You would assume as we get further along that there would be more interest in purchasing the micros or specialty fertilizers, all that, to try to create more market share. We had a great relationship with Wolf Trax back when they first started. I think you remember when they came out and they were asking us about the market and the retail, the retail channel and so forth. And we worked a lot with them on marketing. The sales team did. So, and of course, we wrote quite a bit about it. So, to see that kind of become Compass and now become part of Koch, it's been interesting to see that growth. Did a really good job of kind of to understanding the market, of putting the products out there, and working with the retail community. So it's hopefully it's a great fit, and we'll continue to see those products roll out and provide benefits for farmers and for growers, or for farmers and for retailers.
Retailers, yeah, exactly. All right, very good, Paul. Yeah, no, I agree with you. The one-stop shop approach. I think we're going to see many more companies kind of combining their resources that way to serve as that type of a supplier to their customer base. So,
yes, sir. So what's next?
What's next? All right.
We want to talk about Dicamba, right? Is that the?
Yeah, actually, this is a little follow-up on something we talked about a couple of videos ago towards the middle of February. Of course, last November, we got the word that the EPA had re-registered Dicamba formulations but that Corteva had decided that instead of re-registering Fexapan, their dicamba product in the marketplace, they were just going to discontinue the product and focus on their Enlist brand products instead, which are based on 2,4-D. And this week we found out that Corteva is now pulling back even further from dicamba's market. I guess they had a new dicamba formulation that was in the experimental developmental stage that they were getting ready to put before EPA for registration, but now they've decided to pull the plug on that and just stick with non-dicamba formulations and brands going forward. So another potential dicamba product that could have hit the market maybe in 2021 will not.
Yeah, well, you probably see all this stuff coming, and you're going to have to be either all in on dicamba or just push away from it in order to get through this, because I'm sure there'll be some interesting occurrences this spring again, and hopefully we'll have good compliance. But I think there's probably a feeling like you're going to have to be all in and defending it and providing it to the marketplace, or you're just going to have to say, you know what, it's just not worth our time.
Yep. Yeah. So I agree with you. It'll be interesting with all the new label changes that are in place with the inclusion of something into the dicamba applications that will help to reduce drift even further. It'll be interesting to see what kind of feedback we get from the market as the application season kicks off here in a couple of months. So we'll keep you posted on that as well.
Awesome. Was there one more thing?
Actually, yeah, there was. This is okay. I'm gonna hit your brain up here a little bit, Paul, and see how much you remember going back. Oh, I don't know, maybe 20 years or so. Do you happen to remember, thinking on crop development? Do you happen to remember something called golden rice?
Oh, heck yeah! Yeah, that was like
it was a variety of rice that was created in using biotech means that actually the rice had vitamin A inserted into it, so that in theory then when consumers were eating it, if they were vitamin A deficient, they could get some boost by eating the golden rice. Well, that product actually didn't go too far, because I know people objected to it because it was a biotech product. But actually, I got some news this week revolving wheat. I guess there's a big push now for what's being called zinc-fortified wheat. Looks like that is being developed. Now, this is being developed using regular breeding techniques. So there's it's a non-GMO product, as the folks who are promoting it have pointed out. But zinc-fortified wheat will again help with poor nutrition around the world. And it's being introduced and rolled out in several countries around the world, including our friends to the south, Mexico. And the association that it's putting it together says that at present, it's about 9% of the wheat in the marketplace, but they're hopeful by 2030 or so that it'll be about 80% of the wheat out there will have the zinc fortification and be helping folks who may be zinc deficient around the world. So good news. I remember, like I say, 20 years ago, there was that quote unquote pharma movement where they were trying to promote putting things into crops that then would be beneficial to the consumer. So I guess, maybe a little better late than never, but we're finally starting to see some of those crops start to appear in the marketplace.
Yeah, certainly a lot of noble ideas back then that never really came to fruition. It was, and the golden rice thing was really ultimately pretty frustrating, because it seemed like a very simple solution to a very serious problem of blindness from vitamin A deficiency that could be solved through putting it in the staple food stuff of the country. But the antis won, and it just never got over the hump. So yeah, hopefully, we can continue to find ways to make crops that are answering specific consumer needs and in ways that the consumers will accept them. So that's great to hear, and congratulations to all involved.
Yeah, I for one know that given what I've heard from some people about the COVID vaccine, if they put it in some soybean, and somehow then when I was eating my sushi and dipping my fish into the soy sauce, that if it was giving me to inoculate me that way rather than the shot in the arm, I'd take it, but who knows? Maybe that's a little too far afield.
Probably.
I know, Paul, I went too far, as always.
Oh, that's awesome. So I don't know what you have planned this weekend. And hopefully, if it warms up a little bit, I get to test my early birthday present. Birthday's still a ways away yet, but I got my bike completely tuned up. It's a 1978 Schwinn Varsity 10-speed, and it's sort of like an Electra 225 of bicycles. It weighs about 100 pounds, but once you get the thing moving, it wants to go. So I'm excited to get it back out on the road and riding it again. I haven't I didn't get a lot of riding done last year for whatever reason. It wasn't something I did, but it's back in shape and ready to go. So I'm excited about that. Any plans for you this weekend, sir?
No, although I will say that based on that, then I could say that Paul will be gone with the Schwinn this weekend.
You could say that, or you could think better of it and not say it at all.
I'm sorry, I couldn't resist. It wrote itself, that joke. So no, actually for me this weekend should be fairly quiet. Probably get around to cleaning up the yard a little bit. I know in our neighborhood, they're getting ready to send around the shredders, the folks who do the shredding of all like the sticks and stuff that fell over the wintertime. And I know we had that one snowstorm that brought down about a dozen branches off my one tree. So I will be filling my lawn up with dead branches, and hopefully they'll be grinding them into a pulp sometime next week, and I will be rid of them.
Good deal. Sounds like fun. All righty. Well, that's it for this edition of CropLife Retail Week. We appreciate you joining us, and we'll see you next week.
If you have questions or comments about today's episode of Retail Week, contact us by email or Twitter, or type your message in the comment section below.
Your feedback is important to us. We'll try our best to address your thoughts in next week's episode.
And be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel.